In today's video, we are going to discuss how to create a value scale. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your name is written at the top, first name, last initial. When creating a value scale, you're going to just take a colored pencil and you're going to use one color for this top value scale right here. Our goal is to fill in 4 value steps right here and leave the last value step blank. We're moving from dark to white. So to start off, we're going to begin in the darkest area. We're going to avoid balding and inconsistency during this process. And you'll also notice that we're using tall up and down vertical lines to fill in this square. We'll also notice that we're moving left to right as we fill this in. We want to avoid inconsistencies, so make sure that we're following on top of the next line, filling that in, going all the way to the bottom, moving all the way to the top. You'll notice how close I am to the top of the pencil. I'm really close to where the lead is. This allows me to have a lot of pressure for trying to mimic the value that is above it. So we continue with this. Notice nice long from the top to the bottom, and then from the bottom to the top. I am not going this section and then the middle section and then the bottom section. I'm using tall vertical lines from top to bottom. Top to bottom. You can also go bottom to top. That's going to help you stay consistent as you fill in this darkest value. Once you have this part done, you need to make sure that you have everything consistent. As you can see, this side's a little darker than the rest of it, so move back in there. Look at all the spots that could be inconsistent, fill that in. And there's your darkest value, trying to mimic what's above it. Next, we're moving on to our next lighter value. And again, we're going to be going vertical lines, avoiding inconsistency, avoiding balding, starting at the top, working our way down. You'll notice right off the bat, my hand is already farther back on the pencil to achieve less pressure. Because I'm not going as dark, we want to make sure that we have less pressure. Again, starting at the top, moving my way down to the bottom, a nice vertical line. Notice I'm moving left to right. If you're right-handed, moving left to right is a little easier. If you're left-handed, moving right to left may be a little easier. So again, avoiding inconsistencies, avoiding balding, nice long vertical lines that we're using to get this filled in to the next value. This is a step value scale, so it should look like there's a step, a difference between the two. Then we can move on to our medium value right here. Again, just a little bit farther back. We want to make sure that as we're doing these nice vertical lines, that we're getting lighter with our pressure, which means we hold our pencil differently. Nice vertical lines up to the top, all the way to the bottom, moving back to the top, going down to the bottom, avoiding inconsistencies as best we can. If we have some inconsistencies, we have to go back in and fill it in later. Making sure that we don't have those inconsistencies, we want the color to be the same all the way through on our value scale. See how that one's a little bit lighter. Sometimes we have to go back and add just a little bit more value in another one as we try to make these even as they move their way down from darkest to lightest. Moving on to our lightest value scale section. Notice how far back I am. I'm holding it a lot farther back now. And I'm using nice vertical lines from the top all the way to the bottom. Using as little as pressure as possible to make sure I get this value scale filled in. As you look at your value scale, you might want to stop and squint at it. Just kind of half close your eyes and see which ones are darker and which ones need to be changed a little bit. It's always easier to work from lighter and then go darker if you need to. Don't start darker and then try to erase, because it works a lot better if you go the other way. Okay. So the best thing to do is hold it at arm's length and then squint, and you can see a little bit better. Now I've got another one that I've worked on and really made sure is a nice step value. You can see we started with the darker value, moved into a medium dark value, medium value, medium light value, and the lightest value, which is white. You should put no color into this last section right here. So grab one colored pencil and start filling in this value scale.